morning. Like we told you early on, we're going to be chilling out with Ian Duncan, and as you can see behind me, this is perfect race car, and it is so perfect. It is a champion. So if you want to join the conversation, of course, if you have any questions, the hashtag to use is Power Breakfast, and you can also tweet us at Citizen TV Kenya, and we'll be able to ask any questions, views, your comments, any suggestions you might have. We open it live for you right here. So of course I want to walk over to the man of the moment. He's here, Mr. Ian Duncan. How are you doing, sir?
Morning. Good, thank you.
Yeah. So of course we are here, and first of all, congratulations for the recent rally.
Thank you.
Yeah. You came number 2.
Yeah.
All right. So how long? First of all, I guess most people, anyway, when we put the tweet out, most people want to know, like, how did Ian come to love racing? Where did he grow up and all that? So you can tell us just a little bit about yourself as well.
Okay, I grew up in Limuru, Tigoni. Then my parents were always involved in motorsport a bit, safari rally and things. So I had a motorbike when I was 14 or something like that. So that's when it started.
So when did you cross over to cars, from motorbike to car?
I don't know, about 1920 or something.
So what do you love about racing in general? What gives you that? Is it the adrenaline? Is it winning? And what drives you?
Yeah, I guess just everyone wants to do a sport they enjoy, and then you start doing it. You really love it. You get reasonably good, and so you just continue from there.
Mm-hmm. And also, of course, like when we've seen you maybe roll, and then the next week you're racing. So like what keeps you going? Because most guys would, after an incident, they would just step back and say, okay, you know what, that was it. But you always kept going. What keeps you going?
Yeah, I mean, if every weekend you had a crash, then you'd stop quite quickly. But if it's once in a blue moon, it's part of a sport. So it's like, it's just that's life. Move on, and as long as it's not too serious, it's.
All right, good stuff. So talking about this car, of course, most Kenyans have not really seen the inside of a rally car. They don't know the modifications that go on, and I guess we can just start from the back here. Just open up so we can see what exactly. We just switch and come this side. So maybe tell us about what's happening here. What are all the bars and the metal and all that?
Okay, this is a safety roll cage. That's the biggest difference from a standard car to a rally car. Is you have a lot of safety items in here, and of course some proper suspension. But the safety items, you have a roll cage, you have some really proper seats, some proper seat belts. And then you should be pretty safe in there, no matter what you hit or get run over by.
So does it come standard with them, or you can put them yourself, you can make some modifications yourself?
Okay, a lot of the cars we were making here in our garage, but then this car we just bought from a guy in Lithuania. Comes already prepared. It's like, for a Group N car, it's probably just cheaper for us just to buy one already made up and try and make that ourselves here. So so you just buy it as it is, and then just tropicalize the suspension a bit.
And then we come to the front. I know you've talked about the seats and the seat belts as well. Tell us about like what we are seeing right now in the front right here.
Okay, it has a fancy steering wheel just for better grip. Has a good quality seat. Has like really good side supports, and then the last 10 years they came out with these, like so it keeps your head in from swaying around too much, and then we wear a hands device which stops it from your head from going forward. These things stop it from going from side to side. So you're pretty well strapped in there nicely. Nice 5-6 point harness. You can see everything is there. So you're all pretty securely tied in there.
All right. So when it comes to like I can see a lot of gizmos and switches and all that. Maybe I don't know. You can walk us through some of those. It looks almost like a cockpit.
Basically, a lot of it is a standard car. Okay, down there you have like a master switch, and then a safety fire extinguisher, an on-off switch, and then some diff settings, anti-lag, and horn button. And it's not actually that complicated. Group N is pretty much standard production parts.
All right. Is there any change that has been done to the engine, perhaps?
Okay, we can have a look.
Yeah, let's go ahead and have a look at the engine. Remember, again, just a reminder, if you have any questions, the hashtag to use is Star Breakfast. We're going to be sampling them as well for you. So here we are at the engine.
Okay, pretty much standard Evo 10 turbo engine. The biggest change is probably the most boring one of all rallying, is they put a restrictor in front of a turbo to limit the power. Because like with this restrictor and then the mapping, probably people are getting 280, 300 horsepower, which is just for safety for well rallying. But this engine, highly tuned, could probably give 600 or 700 horsepower. So you put what they call a restrictor. It's all carefully sealed, and then they check once in a while, and then that's that limits the power to what the FIA considers a safe level. So,
what is like the top speed that you can hit with one of these cars, like when you're racing?
Okay, probably really flat out, maybe 210 on the gravel, or maybe 205, 200. Depends on what kind of surface the thing is, uphill, downhill. Because of a restrictor, you tend to have a little bit more power, low revs than high revs. So you've lost your normal engine characteristics a little bit. So sometimes it's not the quickest, but like it'll do 140, 150 very easily down a gravel road. It's like it.
And like also, is that like a standard, like the way I guess in the Formula 1 where, they come and look at the basic adjustments you made in the car, and they root out whatever might look like it might give you a certain added advantage of sorts or something?
Yeah, they have pre-event scrutineering, which is normally mainly for safety. Then at the end, like, they'll choose some random cars and check them. But the main thing is like, okay, everything has to remain pretty much where it was. But if you have a restrictor, then you can do whatever, but it'll never have any more power. It's like that's what they do to do that. So it's.
And what do you think about in general? I mean, you've been racing for how many years now?
Yeah, many. I didn't lost count.
So what do you think about the sport in general? Has it grown? Is there room for improvement, or what can be done, to improve the sport? Have WRC and everybody back and do the big Easter rallies like it used to be before?
Okay, there's always improvement for anything, no matter how good you are. Certainly KCB, and then recently Liquid, our sponsor, been putting a lot of effort into bringing rallying to the people and making it more professional. But some of the people these days, the drivers themselves are spending an absolute fortune on the sport. So if you look at it from the outside, it's really healthy at the moment. Competition is high, there's good money and good awareness in the sport.
And what, like, the last race, the one that came number 2, what happened? Because like we say, this is standard procedure for before and after race, right?
Yeah.
Cars to be taken apart.
So rallying is actually 1 or 2 days fun, and the next month fixing the car again. There's a lot of precautionary, like remove all the suspension, check it. You can see we pulled everything out. Okay, like we damaged the wing a bit, but yeah, that's nothing so serious. But a lot of it is just pull everything apart and then just do some precautionary checks on it, and then get it ready, test it again, and if you have any improvements, which on this car is pretty hard, and then you try those, and then you just go in the next rally again.
All right, so of course we're out here in Ian's garage as well, and we also have the mechanic joining us as well. Maybe you just introduce yourself to Wakenya, waambie jina yako.
Jina yangu ni Anthony Kinyanjui. Yeah.
Umefanya kazi for kama how long sasa?
Miaka kadhaa, kama 10.
Miaka 10? So gari kutoka rally, pengine ni nini hasa mnaangalia, na changes gani mnataka kumake?
Karibu kila kitu, sana suspension, brakes na service, to change oil, na sometimes tuna check kama diff, najua ikienda sana labda bearings zinaisha, na kama safari tulibomoa gearbox, tukaangalia bearings na gears kama ziko sawa, na kuna pins zingine tuna change hapo ndani zinakatika.
Yeah. Na kama kama sasa hapa hivi tuseme hapa hivi mmetoa nini hapa hivi chini?
Hapa tumetoa suspension na hubs, na pia drive shaft tuna check kama zimekatika.
Normally kazi kama hii inaweza take how long after race kundo gari irudi kwa sawa?
After rest, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, nirudi tena kwa barabara.
Wewe mwenyewe una test drive ama unaachia hiyo?
Driver, hiyo ni kazi ya driver. Kazi yangu ni kutengeneza na na test.
Safi kabisa, tumeshukuru sana. Na hizi parts by the way ni rahisi kupata?
Si rahisi, na nafikiri tunapata order kutoka nje. Si rahisi kupata hapa.
Sawa. Alright, asante sana. Alright, I guess go back to Ian here real quick. Ian, do you know any Swahili?
Kidogo, not a lot.
You can do the basic. Like can you do like an interview, like if someone asks you, "Rest ilikuwa vipi?"
I could, but everyone would laugh at me.
Okay, but you know at least the basics, you know.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So I guess also, you know, there is the classic car over there. We just want to go and take a look at it as well. Maybe just walk towards it real quick. And it's all set up. So tell us a little bit about this particular car as well.
Okay, this is a Ford Capri, made in probably 1968 or something. We rallied it for a couple of years in a classic with a V8 engine, because they originally were made in South Africa with a V8. I think something to do with their dodgy rules and importing down there when they weren't popular in the world. When they'd get these cars, they'd put V8s in there and then sell them as a proper Ford with even the warranty, everything. So we used to be able to enter this, and then so we had one really good year. We won the classic, and then some people got disgruntled, and then they changed the rules. It had to be an FIA homologated car. So unfortunately for South Africans, because they weren't talking to the rest of the world, or the rest of the world weren't talking to them probably, they never had an FIA homologation, so that got rid of a V8 aspect. So we had to go on to a V6, which I must say is not the most reliable engine we've found so far. We had big issues with it for the last classic. Okay, we got it running. It's actually quite quick when it works, but it's just some few reliability issues, and we're hoping for this year's classic it'll really be working well. So we need to do a bit of more testing and just checking, and I don't know, maybe the guy sold us some duff parts. I'm not really sure.
So how long does it normally, how often do these classic races happen?
Okay, every 2 years we have a big classic rally, and then recently they did one in Nakuru, which was a really fun, social, but also very good, competitive, really well-run rally by Rift Valley Sports Club, and then that was fun. I think hopefully they'll do one of those, or maybe even 2 every year. Let's hope.
So which is, for you, which one you have more fun at, the classic or the, what do you call that one, non-classic, I guess?
KNRC.
Yeah, KNRC.
Okay, KNRC is very, very competitive. I mean, like, you're just fighting for seconds. It's like, and there's maybe 6, 7 people could even win a rally these days. So KNRC is probably the healthiest it's been for a while. Classic's more of an endurance event. It's like old cars, they make lots of noise, they go sideways everywhere. So there's a different aspect to it. And then, of course, like this we made here, we did all the reinforcing, all the roll cage, you know, buy the seats, put in there. So you know, when you've made something yourself and it works well, it's also a slightly better feeling for yourself. So, you know.
There's more satisfaction to it as well. So I feel like all these other stuff, maybe you can, just from face value, from what people are definitely seeing and probably asking questions, they have no idea what they are, this and this, what's happening here.
Okay, so this is a bull bar, what you call a bull bar. It's not, well, it's not for knocking bulls, it's for it's for just, you know, if there's goats or dogs or bushes, you know, you happen to go off a road through the bushes, it's just protection for the front of the car. Okay, like obviously the engine's not here, but this is a reservoir for the front suspension. For the rules classic runs too, you can have modern suspension, so it's that's like up to date, like the same pretty much as Evo 9 front suspension, you know, proper with a reservoir and adjustable, and it's like.
Right. And also, you know, apart from this, you also have the pickup, and a lot of people have seen you with it, and of course we'll be showing that shortly because you have the footage as well. But tell us about that pickup, and I guess what it means to you. Yeah. Okay,
a long time ago when rallying was pretty well down, maybe we rallied a Land Cruiser pickup, which then we made a Hilux, which was working okay, and then unfortunately Toyota they cut down on their rally budget, which wasn't even a lot anyway. So we approached Nissan, got a pickup from them, put a V8, put a supercharger, So it works pretty good, but at the end of the day, the car still weighs like 2 tons or something. So whereas like with the first pickup we had, it was very competitive. Now, you know, we'd be lucky with that if we could come in the top 6 or 10. It's like unless it was really rough, which is not what Group N rallying should be about anyway. So we had to buy we had a Mitsubishi Evo 9 for a while, and then now we upgraded to this Evo 10.
So even picking off from that, you know, about the racing in general, yes, it's become more competitive, but would you say it's also become a little bit more expensive?
I mean, if you want to compete on the top level, the level that you would have to spend is now crazy. It's like
like like a rough estimate, not just buying it, just like on after a race, like what goes into the car to get it back, to get it race ready.
Okay, yeah, figures, I don't know what those top guys are spending, but yeah, we can still, with a Group N car, you can still run it at a pretty affordable, you know, find a nice sponsor, Liquid or whoever, and then run it for a year. To move the next step up to a Skoda or a Ford or, you know, even an R4, your costs will probably go up by 5-10 times, so that's the problem for Kenyans now, is that you need to be quite rich to run one of those cars. So
yeah, all right. And then talk about the garage and the space that you have here. This is your garage, right?
Yeah, I mean, we work here, been here for, I don't know how many years, 20, 30 years. So this is like the rally section, and we fix the odd car, but mainly we're KTM importers, so we sell motorbikes and spare parts and things like that. So.
And I've seen that, you know, some people here on Twitter asking about, you know, can you give them classes and racing, or is there something like that you've set up, or there's some mentors, or is it mentees, I guess, mentees that you have?
No, don't do that so much. Like some young people, you know, if they're starting and then they need some help, I don't mind at all. But actually, no more classes. Like Tapio does that, and then there might be some other guys who do that. It's like so.
All right, and also, of course, you know, we want to talk about like what do you feel about like in the racing system now, and we're going to be talking later, someone else as well about it. But there's a lot of advancements that have been made in some of the timing has been enhanced, the tracking of the vehicles as well. Maybe you can just tell us how that has impacted you as a racer.
Okay, it's all good for the sport. I mean, over the last say 10 years, we've moved more to closing the roads, which was like about 10 years out of date, but we are working on that. You know, it's just crazy on us, and also you know, you imagine you're sitting outside your house and we come by flat out and your kids are playing in the garden. It's not correct, you know. So the rest of the world did that 50 years ago. So why are we slow, you know? But it's just mainly. It's quite hard to find routes, but it's also people are lazy, you know, like you know, to go and find things, or just to make an effort to close the roads. You know, it's police, security. It's like you know, that's been one of the major things that they've been working on. The other thing is timing. Liquid Telecom has sponsored a nice new timing system, but to tag her, but it's like all on automatic systems that can't be manipulated at all, and then it comes in conjunction with a tracking system, so you can check that people follow the right route. Like in Safari, so some people they followed the route for Guru Nanak Rally, which missed out like 500 meters, and I don't think they even knew until it was too late. So you know, they got a penalty for that. But it's also, you know, if a car stops, they know you stopped. Maybe you have a problem. In that classic rally, they lost contact with one car. They sent a helicopter and it actually rolled. So it's, you know, for Kenya to be that advanced that like, oops, someone had a crash, and you know, like in 5-10 minutes there's a helicopter there with a doctor is really good. It's like, and that's the levels we need to be at in this country. It's like not, you know, like someone has a crash and, you know, 4 hours later someone tracks up with a Land Cruiser and a stretcher in the back and it's already too late. So it's all important, like just, you know, modernization and moving forward with the times.
All right, so we're going to go and pass by, again, find out what's happening here, then go and talk more about the timers as well. So tueleze hapa ulikuwa unafanya nini huko?
Hapa tunataka kufungua hii shock. Pale ndani kuna oil, tuna change oil, tunaangalia piston kama iko sawa na oil seal kama iko sawa. Yeah. Alafu tunaweka oil ingine mpya na grease mpya.
Before that niliona unaiosha kabla ifika hapa. Umuhimu wa kuosha ni kufanya.
Osha ndio tuangalie kama kuna crack mahali, saa zingine zina crack. Alafu kama kuna crack inachomwa ama inanunuliwa ingine.
Na process kama hii huwa inataka kama dakika ngapi?
Kufanya overhaul ni kama maybe one day kwa shock moja. Yeah.
Kama hii sasa kuna jamaa hapa anaitwa Watson anapenda magari sana. Hii suspension how strong ni strong more than the others ya gari ya kawaida. Jinsi ya gari ya kawaida, ndio?
Hii ya kawaida na pia spring yake ni strong kuliko hizi gari zingine za kawaida.
So ni spring.
Hata piston yake ni kubwa kuliko zingine.
Hiyo impact. Okay. All right, cool. All right, so remember we told you about the new timing system as well, and I just want to invite this good gentleman to explain a little bit more about it as well. Just introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Paul Statham, the Chief Commercial Officer of Liquid Telecom.
So tell us about the new timing system and the new tracking system and why you felt the need, Liquid Telecom felt the need to get involved in that and what it means even for racing.
Yeah, I think the whole sport's on a crusade to get the WRC, the World Rally Championship, back into Kenya. Ian mentioned some components around that, which is closed routes in the rally. Another very important aspect is the timing. And what Liquid does for its customers day in, day out is deliver communication systems that support their business. What we do for the rally is what we do day to day for our customers. So we provide the communications between each of the checkpoints, and as Ian said, we've brought in world-class equipment from TAG Heuer, who make very good watches and clocks, and the timing system behind WRC, Formula One, a lot of skiing, etc., etc. So we brought that in, and then the first real time that we did it was in the Safari Rally, and it's fantastic. So instantaneously we could show to a website the finishing times and positions of the drivers. Another aspect to that was the tracking. The tracking is primarily there for safety, as Ian said. But it also allows people to view online again in real time where the cars are going, and that's exciting. It's one thing getting the timing in place, and the other thing is making the sport more consumable to the Wananchi. I think when Liquid first got involved with Rally sponsoring Ian 2 years ago, you can see the appetite for motorsport as you go around the country. What's difficult is taking it to the people and making it as consumable as possible, and that's what we're trying to do, as well as bringing in world-class timing and technology to support the sport. You see it everywhere. So in the English Premier League you see goal line technology. Technology can really help sports develop.
So with this simplicity, you think we're going to continue to reach the world-class standards and get racing back to like its prime?
It's a long way, and I think you have some good political support. The President is a motorsport fan, which really helps, but every aspect of the sport needs to lift its game quite a long way for the WRC to consider coming back to what is one of the great rally countries in the world.
Right. Thank you very much. All right. So I want to go back to Ian. I want to find him right here in the garage. Come with me. So here we are as well. Ian, you see a lot of trophies here. This one being, I think, the most recent one?
Yeah, that's what we got for second in the Safari. Yeah.
You have quite a lot more around here. You probably lost count, I guess, the number of times there have been victories as well. So is this, like I asked earlier, of course, people normally race to win, but is this really what drives you to race?
No, obviously the first few are very important, and then if you win something nice and you get a really nice trophy, then you'll cherish that. But otherwise, you just do it for the fun and the kudos and just to enjoy, and it's just a sport you enjoy.
And most people have most the sports people, especially who have talked to you, they say that they consider you a daredevil because of the how fast you drive, how sometimes you really. Would you consider yourself a daredevil as well? And do you have a nickname?
One, yeah.
Or should I give you one?
No, it's fine. Probably better I don't tell everyone my nickname.
All right. All right, you sure you don't want to give it in just a little bit?
Definitely.
Okay. So when you talk about all this, sports and stuff, and you listen, maybe there are people who are watching, and they also want to get involved in racing. What would be your advice to them?
Yeah, just find a car that you can afford and just start. It's like you just have to try. If you really want to do it, you'll make an effort and you'll start. And then, people will help you, you'll progress, and there's nothing you can do, any sport that you can come and be good at the first time you start it, so just persevere. And if you enjoy it, you'll do well, and then people will help you. But, to sit on your couch and say, oh, I wish I was going rallying, that's not wishing, that's just dreaming. So it's for you.
And what would you say, to even, making the sport, like we said, raising it more better and better, but then there's also just the simple do's and don'ts of racing, and maybe you could give some, maybe if I want to race, I know I drive pretty fast, but not like racing. So what would the advice you give, the do's and the don'ts?
Okay, you can drive quickly, but you can also drive carefully. That's what people don't really understand. But don't drink and drive, or don't take drugs and drive. It's like it, because it impairs your judgment, and don't too many people, they drive around texting on their phone. To talk on your phone is one thing, but when people are just looking at their phone, they're not watching where they're going. It's like so that's really silly. So yeah, just pay attention and be a good driver and considerate. It's like it's.
Right. And finally, what are some of your highs and lows in your whole career? Do you have any that you can pinpoint?
Okay, I mean, your highs are when you have a good event. Obviously, if you do well, it helps. But sometimes you can have a really good fight and end up second or third. But at least if you've done good and you're happy with yourself, and that can be a rally or a member. And those are like when everything goes wrong, like the classic. We spent lots of money and the car didn't even work. It's like that's just a disaster. Or you crash into the ambulance that's not supposed to be in a section, that's pretty low. So it's a very good points and bad points. It's like every other sport, you might be playing football and you hurt your knee, whereas, this you generally more hurt the car than yourself. But it's a great sport, and it's like, it's fun. Right.
Well, I'd say big thanks to Ian for allowing us to come all the way here. We really appreciate you giving us the time, and also just hopefully somebody has been enlightened about the sport. And just keep picking yourself up no matter what happens. Utatoboa, yes, you make it no matter what happens, of course. So again, for all of you guys who've been tweeting, I know I've not been able to ask all your questions because I can see them coming in, and some comments as well right here on Twitter. The Ngosi, I see you. So you said I give you a shout out, so there's your shout out right there. I see all of you guys who have been talking to me on Twitter. We appreciate the feedback as well. As always, are you on Twitter, Ian?
No, I'll leave it for Mr. Trump and you.
Okay, on that very good note, let's make racing great again. Alright, so my name is Yunus Abura. I'd like to say big thanks again on behalf of Freddie and Joy Muthengi. I remind you that successful people look like you, and of course the great Manchester United. Have yourself a wonderful day. Peace. We're out.